You know how we talk a lot about the American dream?
Yes.
The American dream, the American dream. Is there an African dream?
Now, my answer to that question is more like a political statement.
Hi, I'm Dr. Song Webu. Welcome to the Purple Diaries, the Policy Innovation Center's podcast series that takes a deep dive into the conversations and dialogues that happened at the Gender and Inclusion Summit 2025. Over the course of this podcast series, I'll be sitting down with some really amazing individuals to talk about the future of sustainable development and really challenge the way that we see the world. So join the conversation, and if you like what you hear, leave us a comment, share, subscribe, and see you soon. Thank you. Hi, Lilian.
Hi, Som.
Welcome to Nigeria.
Thank you.
And welcome to the Purple Diaries podcast.
Asante sana.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Good. So you just jump right into it.
Yes.
You were on the Gender Summit, the youth panel for the Gender Summit.
Absolutely.
And I just loved your passion. And so I really wanted to have you in here today to talk a little bit more about some of the points that were raised there. And so let's just jump right into it, shall we?
Let's go.
So my first question to you today is, you know how we talk a lot about the American dream?
Yes.
The American dream, the American dream. Is there an African dream?
Now, my answer to that question is more like a political statement. And it is also a personal political choice for me. There really is an African dream. I keep sharing with every person that I meet, everywhere I go, that sometimes audacity, boldness will place you in rooms where maybe talent, education may have not actually placed you in. Not saying that we have to overlook certain aspects, but actually being bold enough to ask. We say in an African proverb that closed mouths don't get fed.
Never get fed.
So there really is an African dream in the sense that when we hold our hands together and in the spirit of Ubuntu, I am because you are, and because you are, I am. The brotherhood, the sisterhood, holding each other together from one step on to the next. And not looking at it from a point of competition, by the way, but looking at it from a point of collaboration. There's no such thing that this is a Kenyan issue. There is no such thing that this is a Madagascar issue or a West African issue, a Nigerian issue. We cannot look at problems in a siloed manner by saying that, you know what, guys, us as Nigerians, this is what we're looking at. Kenyans can actually sort themselves out, but no. And that is what actually the colonialists are really successful at, ensuring that not only the borders exist on the African map, but they also exist in our brains and in our minds in the manner that we look at solutions or problems. So my call to action when I'm looking at it from an African perspective or a point of view is that but being powered by the spirit of Ubuntu, we can actually hold ourselves together and also build something magical from Africa. We don't have to go all the way to Norway, to Europe, and so on. And actually, when I'm looking at it again from a visa barrier again, why are we so interested and invested into going outside, building from outside, when you can actually build within our motherland?
And I love that you just made that last point that you made,
Yes.
which brings, beautifully segues into my next question to
Yes,
you.
yes.
Which would be, if you had a magic wand, right, as
Yes.
a young African,
That's a good one. Yeah.
and you could build the African dream, what would be your 3 top priorities in building that African dream?
Yeah, that's a very beautiful question. So my top 3 priorities will be on hope, that all is not yet lost. I am a living testimony of someone who almost got locked out by education. I used to be an average student, but because someone believed in my dreams and gave me scholarship to high school, and because I had to keep my scholarship by performing, I never used to care about getting, grade A's or what, but because I knew the situation back at home. And even our sponsors kept on reminding us, if you fail more than 3 times, we are cutting you out of the scholarship program.
Pressure.
Exactly. So actually that made me pull my socks And it was actually a blessing in disguise. And whenever I share this story, people always tell me, it has always been in you, Lilian. It was only that someone had to really pressure you a little bit for you to really discover your potential. And that is how I ended up being from an African Kenyan school in an informal settlement area in Nairobi, Kenya, called Mukuru Kwanjenga slums, by the way. Shout out to my home. It's called Mukuru, a slum area in Kenya. And I went all the way to Stanford as a MasterCard Foundation scholar awardee.
Oh, you.
So, to be honest, education and building on hope, and we cannot do anything without healthcare. It starts from there, to be honest. So beyond education, beyond now segueing this now into even economic empowerment opportunities, creation of jobs and so on, the primary solution, again, or rather a primary thematic area, we need to tackle it intentionally, is also the healthcare system across Africa.
So education, healthcare.
And building on hope.
And building hope. And you said something about women's economic empowerment.
Yes.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, please. So historically, and again, systemically, women weren't allowed to have a voice. I'm from a lineage, again, where women were silenced. And from a world where feminism is coming up, I myself being a very bold young African feminist, the understanding from a layman's perspective is that, this girl is so empowered, she's now going to step on men. But that is not the understanding of feminism. And in fact, even just to educate my fellow counterparts and brothers and sisters in this room today, is that feminism is about advocating for equal rights and opportunities for all genders and for all sexes.
Not just women.
Not just women alone. But the idea, or rather the disinformation around feminism, is that once we empower them, they don't want to get married, no one will tell them anything, and this is what feminism is all about. But no, bringing it back to the question you had just shared, it's more about building the agency of a woman for her to grow beyond the care bucket she's already been put in. That a woman is just a mother, her place is in the kitchen, and that is it. No. That shouldn't be the narrative that we're trying to drive across Africa and even beyond. But a woman is first and foremost a human being.
A person, an individual.
Exactly, an individual who has multifaceted layers around what makes her a human being. So before even objectifying a woman that she's a mother, a caregiver, and that is it, we should shift that narrative and looking at her from a human being. The minute each and every individual looks at a woman as an individual or a human being, then all these things you're trying to advocate for, it will be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because a human being deserves equal rights.
Yeah. Yeah.
A fellow human being deserves economic empowerment, to have a voice for herself. It's basic as that.
Thank you so much, Lilian.
I can see some tears in your eyes. So.
I've been so inspired. It's just wonderful to see young people like you with all the passion. It gives me hope for Africa.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
It's been a joy talking to you.
Thank you.
Gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you so much. Right. And maybe if I were to give a parting shot, I am a believer of a certain statement by Maya Angelou. It says, when a woman stands up for herself, she stands up for all women. For everyone. So it doesn't matter whether we're advocating for healthcare, social impact, economic empowerment. We cannot look at problems in a siloed way. So we have to hold each other's hands. And also, I am because you are, and because you are, I am. So shout out to Ubuntu.
Yep.
And thank you for having me as well.
You're welcome.
This was actually unplanned.
Yes.
But nothing happens by chance.
I'm so glad we're able to have you.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.